Donald Trump's $38 trillion plan is insane. It's either going to save the US economy or turn every American into a fake millionaire. Ever since Donald Trump has taken office, his decisions has been chaotic. On one side, he's launching trade wars with China, India, and every other country. On the other side, he's punishing American companies. But if you give it a closer look, if you zoom out and connect the dots, you will find out that Donald Trump actually has a real plan, a plan to save the United States. It might not make sense at first glance, but if you dig into it, you will find out that maybe this is exactly what the United States needs at this point. This is the graph that the White House published when Donald Trump has taken office. The US GDP is growing by about 2%, while the US debt is growing by about 4.8 to 5%. At this speed, the debt to GDP ratio by 2034 is going to cross 117%. And this does not factor in intragovernmental debt, because if you do that, the situation is way worse than you can imagine. The total debt to GDP ratio is about 121%. So at this speed, by 2034, it can grow to 140 or maybe 145%, which is a complete disaster. This is the point where the United States is going to allocate more than 30% of its budget just to ensure that it does not default on its debt. And there are two ways to fix this problem. The first one is to pay off the debt, which seems the most obvious way to do that. However, the United States is not going to do that. Yes, Donald Trump attempted to do that by directing the revenues from the tariffs to pay off the debt, but that doesn't seem serious. First of all, we don't know for a fact how much these tariffs are going to generate. Today we have one tariff, tomorrow the tariffs are changing, and nobody actually knows for a fact how much they are going to generate. And secondly, the US national debt is so huge that it's simply not enough. And thirdly, the United States is in a competition with China. Every dollar that you allocate towards debt payments and not towards growing the economy is giving China an edge. So you want first to win this competition, especially with AI, against China, and then you can comfortably start paying off the debt. But we know that's never going to happen. The second option is to grow the GDP. If you can manage to grow the US economy much faster than the debt, then over time, the debt to GDP ratio is going to grow. Yes, maybe the actual size of the debt will continue to grow, but in comparison to the size of the economy, it is going to be minimal. And that's the plan that Donald Trump is actually taking. Now, to understand how is that possible, we have to understand how the GDP works. GDP consists of a few factors. First, consumption. It is what you spend. It is what I spend. Every dollar that is spent in the economy to consume anything drives the economy forward, because the dollar that you spend is someone's income, which means that the economy has grown. The more we spend, the more or faster the economy grows. Secondly, investments. Investments is when a company decides to open a factory. It wants to open a new branch. Maybe there is a business in New York and they want to expand to another state. Maybe there is a Chinese company that wants to come to the United States and open a factory. That seems like a joke, but China invests a lot in the United States, primarily in the US stocks and the US treasuries. So if you haven't started investing yet, then you're missing a lot. If you want a step-by-step guide on how to start investing, I created a full guide about investing that you can access right now for free. The link is going to be in the description. The course is going to become a paid course very soon, but for the very loyal subscribers and dedicated people who really want to learn, I left the course for free. The next is the government spending. The government is the largest spender in the economy because it uses taxpayers' money. The government is raising trillions of dollars and it's also borrowing trillions of dollars. It is spending that money to build roads, bridges, schools, and also maintain the world's largest military, which is why it's the main driver of the GDP. And finally, exports minus imports. Exports is what the United States produces and sells them to other countries. So goods are going to other nations and wealth is coming to the United States. And imports are vice versa. When China manufactures something and ships them to the United States, then wealth is moving out of the United States to China. It's the Chinese company that profited. It's the Chinese company that benefited. So wealth moved out of the United States to China, which is why it decreases the overall GDP. So if you want to grow the GDP, to fix the debt to GDP ratio, you have to play around with these variables to grow the GDP. That's why Donald Trump has imposed tariffs to limit imports. If you slow down imports from other countries to the United States, then the overall GDP is going to grow. But it is going to cause another problem. It is going to make foreign goods much more expensive in the United States because now there is an extra tax that must be paid, which means that consumption is going to go down. Yes, on one side you have reduced the size of the imports, but on the other side you have slowed down consumption, so you're basically back to square one. Secondly, if you want to grow the GDP, you want to grow your exports, but to do that you have to weaken the dollar. Part of the reason why so many countries have been investing in the United States is because the dollar has been strong. But if you want to manufacture in the United States, you have to make your currency weaker. But it is going to cause a very serious problem. It is going to make it unattractive to invest in the United States. Well, some factories might come back to the United States. If you're a huge Japanese pension fund that invests in the United States debt, for example, your real returns are going to go down even if nothing absolutely changes. Imagine the exchange rate between Japan and the United States is 1 to 100. So a single dollar equals to 100 Japanese yen. And the Japanese yen earns $1 annually by investing in the US Treasury. This is just a hypothetical example for you to understand. So the Japanese pension fund earned $1 in the United States, brought it back to Japan and turned it to Japanese yen, and they have earned 100 yen. Now, if the dollar weakens by 50%, for example, that means that now a single dollar will equal to 50 Japanese yen. And the pension fund that earned $1 from the United States has converted that dollar into yen, now has 50 yen. So previously they used to make 100 yen, but now they make 50 yen. So their real returns have dropped by 50%, which means that it is unattractive to invest in the United States, which means that they're more likely to invest their investments in the US, which could actually increase the cost of borrowing for the United States. So that will limit foreign investment in the United States. And that's why every single time Donald Trump has signed a trade deal with all of these countries, part of it was that they have to commit to invest in the United States. Yes, you have to pay a 10% tariff, and that could limit consumption in the United States of foreign goods, but you have to continue investing in the United States. So with Japan committed to invest $550 billion in the US. The European Union, the exact same story. There is a 15% tariff on the EU, but they will also invest around $500 to $700 billion. But to weaken the dollar, you have to lower interest rates. That will increase the supply of dollars in the market, which is going to weaken the currency. But a weak currency means higher consumption, which is going to grow the overall GDP. But higher consumption also means higher inflation. And higher inflation means lower real returns. Imagine if you're earning 4% by investing in the US Treasuries, and now inflation is 3%. Yes, on paper you're earning 4%, but your real return is just 1% because the dollar is losing 3% of its value annually. If inflation rises to 4% and matches the yields in the market, then you're not making any money or whatsoever. That will push investors to demand higher yields. So we are back to square one. On one side, we are growing the GDP with these manipulations. On the other side, the yields on the US Treasuries are rising, which means that it's going to cost the US government much more to sustain the debt, which means that the debt is going to exponentially grow. It doesn't actually make sense. which is why Donald Trump has been attacking the Federal Reserve to start quantitative easing as well. Quantitative easing is the Federal Reserve getting into the market and creating artificial demand for the US Treasuries. So if foreign investors suddenly stop buying US Treasuries, then the Federal Reserve intervenes and starts buying those Treasuries. This plan is certainly risky, especially in the beginning. It is going to increase prices and will lower down wages. It will increase prices because it's going to cause inflation, and because the dollar is going to weaken, it will bring down the real wages down. But if the plan is going to work and all these companies will come back to the United States, they will bring manufacturing back to the United States over the next 3 to 4 years, then the overall GDP in the long run is certainly going to rise and the plan can pay off. But remember, this plan is extremely risky because if it does not work, it can literally cause a financial catastrophe. Because for this plan to work, the Fed will start quantitative easing to ensure that the yields on the debt will stay low. If the Fed won't do this, then the yields on the US debt will certainly rise dramatically, which will force the US government to allocate at least half of its budget just to pay the interest on the debt. But that will lead to higher inflation. Higher inflation is going to lead to less demand for bonds because the real returns on those bonds are going to go down. So investors will naturally demand higher yields, and that means that more quantitative easing, because investors are like, we're not buying US Treasuries because they're not providing enough returns that is higher than inflation. And how to fix that? The Fed intervenes and starts buying US Treasuries to make sure that the yields on the US Treasuries don't rise dramatically. More quantitative easing is going to lead to lower yield. Lower yields is going to lead to less demand for the US debt. It's a never-ending cycle that will make the dollar worthless over time. Of course, it won't happen just because you started quantitative easing, but if you abuse the system, that's exactly what will happen. And that's why the nominal GDP this year is going to grow by about 5%, but the real GDP will grow by about 1.5 to 1.8%. The economy could grow just because prices increased, but just because prices increase, it doesn't mean that the actual economy has grown. The real economy grows when people become more productive, when the economy produces more, when we create more jobs, when the output of the economy grows. But the GDP can grow just because prices have increased in the economy. And that's why there is a huge difference between the nominal GDP and the real GDP. This plan could actually work if all these companies will bring back manufacturing to the United States. But if the United States will keep abusing the system by doing quantitative easing, and these companies will find different ways to keep manufacturing outside the United States, then the dollar will continue being weaker and weaker and weaker. Everybody will get rich on paper, but in reality, the real size of the economy hasn't grown at all. And the only way to save yourself and ensure that your wealth is growing is to make sure that you're invested in the right assets. And if you don't know which assets to buy and how to start investing, I have created a step-by-step guide on how to start investing. Literally, the course is for free. It is going to become paid sometime in the future, but if you access it right now, it is going to be free for you. The link is in the description.